It's hemp versus marijuana, and a new law that's putting the Texas governor and some district attorneys at odds.
A terrifying sight, an out-of-control school bus careening back and forth on the road. See the heroes who risked their lives to stop it.
And a young boy selling ice-cold beer in front of a church? A closer look at his sign reveals why officers are now among his biggest customers. And good evening. Still no leads tonight in the search for the person who shot and killed a woman who was heading home with her husband near Katy this week. We have been showing you video of this white Audi SUV that was spotted driving nearby shortly before someone fired into 62-year-old Saran James' car, hitting her in the head. It happened around 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday as the couple turned onto Old Greenhouse Road. James's daughter is begging anyone who saw anything to come forward.
It's just unreal. I don't really know the words to explain how my mom was taken and how we moved forward without her. My dad lost his mom in June of last year. He lost his dad in July of last year. And now he lost his wife. It's too much.
So very difficult. You feel for them so much. Here's another look at the white Audi SUV. Deputies don't know if it is the suspect's car or just a witness, but they want to talk to whoever was driving it in the hopes of getting any new leads in the case. Tonight, a 17-year-old is being held on $50,000 bond after police say he confessed to killing his father. Carlos KHOU was in court today. Prosecutors say KHOU's mother and father got into an argument yesterday in their West Houston home. She left with 3 of the kids. Shortly after, KHOU and his dad started fighting. He told police his dad started hitting him. That's when he grabbed a knife and stabbed him. But he didn't call 911 until his mother returned home later that evening. He's now been charged with murder. A veteran Houston police officer arrested in a prostitution sting. Danny Van Lee charged on Tuesday for soliciting a prostitute in Fort Bend County. He's been relieved of duty pending the outcome of an investigation. He's been with HPD for 22 years. All right, with the heat, this little box is probably the most important thing on your property, but to keep it running, here are 3 things you need to know. First, demand is the highest for technicians in the summer. The best might be busy. But don't just hire anybody, because number 2, scammers are out there. Make sure the person you hire is from a legit company. And third, a yearly tune-up can be a lifesaver. You should get the checkup before it gets hot, but better late than never. Sure is. AC a must-have because this heat is no joke. Even this late at night, still steamy out there. David?
And for the next 3 days, it's full-blown Houston summer with highs in the mid-90s. Feels like temperatures well over 100 through the weekend. Then things get weird. An unusually amplified pattern in the upper-level winds is forecast to drive a cold front into Houston as we head into next week. Now, it's not going to get cold, but this out-of-season winter pattern is going to bring rain, and it may be heavy. So coming up, we'll take a close look at what we're facing with the potential for heavy rain and at least some less hot weather coming up next week. I'll see you in a few minutes with that.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Dave. President Trump is trying to distance himself from supporters at a rally last night who chanted "Send her back," referring to a Minnesota Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
I'm not happy about when I hear a chant like that. And I've said that, and I've said it very strongly, but I will tell you, the congressmen and women also have a big obligation in this country, and in every country, frankly, but they have a big obligation. And the obligation is to love your country.
The president has been feuding with Omar and 3 other congresswomen known as the Squad ever since he tweeted over the weekend that they should go back to where they came from. He accused them of hating our country. Here is Omar's response.
It's supposed to be a country where we allow democratic debate and dissent to take place. And so this is not about me. This is about us fighting for what this country truly should be and what it deserves to be.
Some lawmakers worry the ongoing divisiveness could lead to violence. Democrats say they will introduce legislation to beef up security around some of their colleagues.
New tonight, President Trump says he plans to nominate Eugene Scalia to be the new Labor Secretary. If the name sounds familiar, he's the son of late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. The president tweeting the news less than a week after the resignation of Alexander Acosta. A packed charter bus with sleeping passengers crashes in Fort Bend County, sending 3 people to the hospital.
The serious accident kicks off tonight's 90-second nightcap.
3 people are recovering in the hospital after this bus crash in Rosenberg. About 30 people were on board traveling from Mexico to Tennessee this morning when the charter bus slammed into a concrete divider. This is on 59 at Highway 36 down in Rosenberg. We still don't know what caused the crash. Those 3 injured folks, including the bus driver, are expected to be okay.
Life after liquidation, Toys R Us, with a brand new parent company and a new tech backer, plans to open a brand new store inside the Galleria this November. It's going to be smaller than we're used to and more interactive, with kids being able to test the toys before shelling out money.
It's another stop in a busy day for Amanda Edwards.
This is not about politics. This is about people.
Just a few hours after announcing her campaign for U.S. Senate.
I'm taking the show on the road, not abandoning my city of Houston, my hometown. I'm just expanding my reach.
The first-term city council member touted her track record at City Hall. She calls economic opportunity and health care her top priorities.
Chaos in the heart of San Juan. As angry protesters faced off with riot police, violence spilled out onto the streets of the Puerto Rican capital. Demonstrators angry about a major corruption scandal involving the governor.
The death toll from the fire at an animation studio in Japan is now 33. The suspect in the arson case may have set the fire at the front door, forcing people to find other exits and slowing their escape.
We want to give a shout out tonight to a Good Samaritan who truly stands for Houston. Earlier today, we told you about Fred Mitchell, who finally moved back into his home near Pearland after Harvey. But the contractors who repaired his home, you see what they did. They left a mountain of debris in his driveway that Mitchell couldn't remove by himself.
But just 30 minutes after our story aired at 6 o'clock, a neighbor showed up with a backhoe and helped load all that garbage into a dumpster. We'd gotten several emails from people willing to help, but the mess is already gone. We're happy to report.
Applaud, applaud, applaud. That's how you do it.
Sure is. Standing for our neighbors, standing for Houston.